Press start to begin. Alright, so hello everybody, welcome back to the Super Bonus Round. We're back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. I'm your host, John Mugiwara Jam, joined as always by my co-host, Jab Peanut.
We ain't buying any!
And Rich Raymond from 767.
Yes! Okay.
He got shot out of the cannon!
Anyway, I'm sorry. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time.
Especially because she was trying to take a peek at his one eye.
That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room.
You mean his one eye?
Not on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
And that's when she realized. That's when she realized.
But me.
Jesus. That's when she realized that Juan was actually. Was he? We don't know. So, perfect timing. So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
And he also opened the door.
See? It has to be him. He's the murderer.
He must be packing quite a package then. I see. I agree there, Edgeworth. He must be. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
You may quickly begin your cross-examination of Juan Carrito's fat hog.
That got cranked.
Crank that hog.
Yeah. Bottom text.
Okay, does anyone find anything weird about that testimony?
Oh, let's see. Anyway, I went to
pace around in the hallway in the front of the room. And
something interesting. Well, since I was on the job, I'd make sure to keep. Okay, so security. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of Juan's room. And then
on that?
No, you press on the one where she insists it's on guard.
Yeah.
Hold it.
Yeah. How do you know it's on guard?
So, you saw my client? Are you sure about that? Well, remember, he was in costume for a ceremony.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
See, I knew you'd find some parts of, I think you should leave funny. Are you sure about that?
Yes, sir.
Really?
I know it, Brett. When I saw someone, I saw that person.
What keeps cutting out?
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. The person's clothes, of course.
Yeah.
Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
Given the circumstances, it absolutely does. But it does!
It does!
Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That collar thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's made for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
You are...
Or seducing men.
Hello, pot and kettle, you're black. Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? I choose you say important.
It was very important.
It was very important.
Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Objection!
Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important?
Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please.
Well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must... He was wearing his flashy racing jacket, honestly, it's all just for show.
So I know it's been about a week since we recorded, but this is immediately contradicted by something in the evidence. Remember what we found?
The Jammin' Ninja's button.
If he was wearing his regular clothes, why is there a bloody button from a costume?
Yeah.
Objection! Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Why do you know which number it is? Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here. If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Bitch, you don't understand!
Wow. She really is a diehard fan and want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mount on Guard's body during a full body search.
See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was the rascal on guard.
It was caught up in the pleats of those nickel samurai Hakama pants.
See? An on guard is like a samurai.
That would imply that he was wearing the
Witness.
costume!
Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say the defendant? Mount on Guard was wearing his usual racing jacket? John, don't forget to put Darth Vader's breathing over that.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Sorry they judge people based on what they wear. If I were that kiddish just...
What the fuck?
Now, literally, all three of you, stop gargling like you have dick in your mouth. Now, hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So, what you saw in actuality
Plop, plop, plop.
was not Mr. OnGuard the man, but Mr. OnGuard the Nickel Samurai.
But when you think about it...
It makes sense if you don't think about it.
They're really one the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
That's superior. Don't you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
All right, if you insist.
Wow, the microphone caught all of the yelling, but not the sighing. I should be the one sighing, not you. Who I saw.
My dinner is approaching, just so you know.
On guard. Yes! Now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, I would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He has to go up to that post-ceremony stage, so right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
Juan. I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Do you think someone... do you think there could have been someone else inside that costume?
We've been here before.
Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude
Was it
things.
like a spanking? But the possibility does exist.
Youngster, I tell you, there's no way it was anyone else.
Oh,
How do you know that?
Because I said so. And what I say is the truth.
at least she's just as a delightful witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Okay. Obviously, that whole thing is a fucking lie, but let's see what's fishy about it. That's not an objectable statement. Yeah, press on that one. Hold it! Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago. But let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I, wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what?
See? Look at where you are now! You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Well.
Well, I said earlier. Who puts any meaning into things like that? And now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
That's some dumbass logic, like if I slapped you, it's like, ow, what'd you do that for? Hey man, that was in the past, don't hold it against me.
Wasn't that scene in The Lion King?
Yes, it was. Ow, what was that for? It doesn't matter, it's in the past. So when did the court become theatrics over testimonies? The very beginning of the series.
Yeah.
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Is that enough?
No.
I'm sorry, so that was...
Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his... Wait, I already read that.
Yeah, okay, so like it's statement number 5. So 1,
right,
2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see evidence again.
Bears the victim's blood and on-guard's fingerprints, and the gate water is engraved. So you have to present it at statement number 5. So let me just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Objection!
Right, when I shown it.
Please take a look at this.
Well, sir, it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Is that what you're driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr.
We'll
Ungar...
split the cab fare.
But who's driving? If Mr. Ungar was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
Objection! And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that.
However, there is one possibility.
Now let's hear your possibility!
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory?
There's a contradiction. There's a contradiction.
Yep. This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
What are you babbling about?
Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Engarde was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent.
And that goes back to the tabloid?
No, the knife again.
The knife.
This knife. This was used by Mr. Engarde at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Because remember, there was a knife missing from Engarde's room. Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory is flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. Or pigs on shit.
Flies on shit.
And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the plop court! Why was this knife really planted by the plop killer? Why would the murderer do such a plop thing?
To frame Matt Engarde, of course. To frame my client, Mr. Engarde. I said that already. I said it before he did.
To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Objection! We just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness!
Looks like I made the life a tiny bit more difficult. How insipid.
Get the hell out of here! That's the witness. Did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess I first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Engarde with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now.
You can, stop lying.
Look, I was trying to run in front of the doors because, well... When I wasn't running around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
What?
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai? All right, then. Who were you waiting for around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
This is a court of law. Tell us now.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Don't pull that shit in my court, witness.
The only one allowed to pull shit in here is me.
Plop.
The way you think you're a sad amateur, a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Bet you're as old as me. Amateur? Me? Bitch, I'm no amateur. We're ancient. What am I an amateur of?
So Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Kurita.
Maybe. Phoenix, maybe old Pack was waiting around for that person.
If it's who I think me is hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? There's only one other person that would be in there with him. Take that!
Who is that person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Engarde's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh! This is... Plop. I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
And this manager, with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out.
Aha!
Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
The moment you swore on that Bible, you're supposed to have done
Or
that.
the moment you raised your hand, in court.
Witness? What in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I always felt her and Obi-Wan had some stuff in common.
I got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. Stealing men's underwear that have any pre-cum stains on them.
Oh, God.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well. And, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Well, ready? It's gonna take the rain out of you young'uns.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old.
Sure, I'll capable of this.
I'm the only one that takes the wind out of myself. Put in a box out of bed.
That on-guard is an evil one.
Mr.
Evil man!
You're a mean one. One Corita.
He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own medicine to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such study tricks, so I took action.
Oh, wait, it's Matt on guard. You're a mean one. Not on guard.
Oh, but this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
You, me, the judge, the prosecutor, everybody in the jury, the bailiff.
What the fuck?
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip! And isn't that saying, the truth is never pleasant?
No, the saying is that a lie gets halfway around the world before the truth gets its shoes on. Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is, in fact, baseless gossip.
But should this be true?
Oh, I'm sorry, he formed it as,
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
Get it? Because his room's filled with bears. So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
One pun of the night, and yet the person not voicing the judge thinks about it. God damn it. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness, and that was a good one.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
Granted.
That's right, I got us nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you gotta burn old bags with fire. Wait, who says that? Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Rest in peace, Val Kilmer.
Yes. Which, by the way, it's like, fuck, what was I gonna say? Granted, everybody is shocked when they find out I'm not a good electrician.
Okay, so,
Damn it, I just got it! Fuck off!
but those are the best ones. I pressed the top secret one, of course. Hold it! Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
But I didn't finish mine yet. Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know that this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's, because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. If you could drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? You gotta present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it!
I was watching Fox
Witness?
News.
I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? Do we forget who else is on the scene?
Oh, yeah.
Because this is about the tabloid, and who did the article? Lotta. And what did she do it with? A picture she took with her camera.
No, I was watching Fox News.
Investigative photographer Lotta Hart.
Oh, yes, I remember that mischievous girl. Fox News.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions!
Then everything on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
As meaningless as that tabloid you read. Aha! That's it! That's the note!
Ah!
And she crumbles it up and eats it.
No! You see? This is all completely different! This is my top secret list of groceries to buy!
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of rods, that's right! That infamous puppy hair whippersnapper! She's working with that evil icon! She says to herself, I'm gone! I'm his sidekick! She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck! I was only checking what she had written! Nancy Boo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like an angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with the supply of cheese to match your vintage wine! Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just this once.
Looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her?
Pile on more pressure, fuck the bitch!
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, that was correct, and also no. I let up on her now. She'll get away. I have to find someone to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper for a terrible loading trash can, that's all.
That's still stealing. You're lying, damn it! I can prove it!
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
That's my fucking job, yes! Miss Oldbag? I don't believe that note is the only thing you stole that night.
Is it a guitar?
Yeah, remember the camera went missing?
Yeah.
Oh, right. The camera.
Miss Oldbag, that note was with the camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie, the $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
What? What? Witness!
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it's only logical you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, sinner. Is this the camera you're looking for?
Ah, that's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I should have been like you, I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Sirloin Back Celebrity for Taco Vet Extraordinaire.
No, that's Jesse Waters' card.
Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures he had taken. I'm Professor Security Guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff! Check this camera's photos. Hurry! We must examine them at once.
But we don't have a photo developer. All we have is the thing that prints the pictures from Pokemon Snap. What? Why do we even have that?
Mr. Edgeworth? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Believe me, you don't want to see the other ones.
Please present it to the court.
Oh, here we go again.
This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
She was lying, saying that she saw a man on guard in a sport jacket, though.
What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. OnGuard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
Before we move on, you guys all see what's wrong with this picture, right? The pant legs are being dragged.
Yeah, that's right.
Whoever's wearing this is not tall enough for the costume.
Yeah. The defendant.
No.
How did it come to this?
Because if it was him, it would have fit.
I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly.
Nope, not this one.
Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client? No.
No.
By the way, I am aware of our time. Without spoiling anything, the judge is going to call a recess after a couple more decisions, so that'll be the perfect place to stop. And then Austin will never have to read for back again.
Oh, thank God.
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, that would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Yeah, don't forget, if we lose this case, Maya dies. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lala took, there's something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo.
I knew this was coming, right? Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree here. I think we can all agree there is nothing strange with this photo.
Nope.
There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
Well, I've got a bunker buster and something to bust your head open.
Debunk with a bunker buster? Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Jesus, laying it on thick. Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's a lot of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? The pant legs.
So we jumped ahead of it, but yep.
Take that!
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is.
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks? You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo,
you can't.
The Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. All right, I think I turned things around for myself this time.
That's curious.
Huh? What is?
Edgeworth is unusually calm today.
That's true.
He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride.
Along for the ride?
Technically it was Francisca's case.
Yeah, but then she had to take a bullet in the arm. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt Ongard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you've proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Ongard. In that case, who is this a photo of?
Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume?
Don't stress over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah. Why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
Who else?
Every time it does, it makes me laugh.
Ah, you beat me to it that time.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that nickel samurai is, it's none other than this woman.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, she's short.
Damn!
And she could freely move in and out of Mr. Engard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easier for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Engard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon? Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order! 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 It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development.
The mic keeps cutting out for Rich too, so all I hear is on!
Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
All right, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Huh? What do you mean?
If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day.
One more day? Ah! Not that Spider-Man comic or anything with that! If I don't get a verdict today,
shit.
then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge's supposed to adjourn the court! No, you raise an objection.
Now then.
Objection! Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony.
Hold it.
I abhor wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But
I'm tired and I have to shit.
we cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Just unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all. Happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What?
wait. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? I really gotta take a shit. Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness.
Everything was planned out in advance by that man?
Somehow, I knew there was no way Edward would overlook Miss Andrews.
I don't know how he planned this in advance when he was a last-minute prosecutor in the first fucking place.
Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we need to take a 10-minute recess because I really need to take a shit. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Get the fuck out. I need to take a shit. Krakatoa. Fart noise added. Add fart noise.
right, so thank you guys again so much for watching. Next time on the Super Bonus Round, we'll continue the court and hopefully get to a verdict. So thank you guys again. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Somebody bring the Febreze.
Febreze spray. I'm thinking of Febreze bomb.
That too. Bye. Plop.